And we're live. Hi everybody. Welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star, the Flippin Hippo. Thank you for joining us tonight. I see that Tracy Thrifted is here, Thrifty Falconer's wife, Sandra Seymour. Oh yeah, I know who Seymour is. So welcome in everybody. I'm just trying to give it a minute and let some other people come in. Red Neckerson's Resells, Marie. Hi guys, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. Hi Justin. So while we wait for a couple more people to come in before we get to the meat of the show, for those of you that may be new here, my name is Star, and I'm clearly not a hippo, nor do I flip hippos. Our eBay store is called The Hippo Hut, and so we named all of our social media Flippin' Hippos to be funny, because we are resellers, we flip things, and I personally love hippos. The hippos behind me, the big gray one is Henry, the small one is Hannah. You will never see my partner, Keith. He is my life and my business partner. He's the silent half of us. He doesn't like to be on camera, but he does a lot of stuff behind the scenes for our reselling business and our YouTube channel. And we sell primarily on eBay. And I do Posh and he does Amazon. We do local sales. We have a Facebook group. We have a clothing guide available. And we have a YouTube channel. I guess, I probably should tell you what we sell mostly. I enjoy selling plush the best, and so I do flip a lot of plush, and I also love doing jeans, and I do a lot of jeans, sales. I do men's and women's. Men's are harder to find in the wild. They sell for more when you do find them though. And Keith does a lot of men's shirts and electronics and cell phones and stuff that we do locally and other stuff. I'm sure that everyone here knows me. Like no one new ever comes, right? Hi June. Hi Nicole. Hi Donna, Jen, Debbie, Randy, Gary. Welcome in. Gary, that's very sweet of you to say thank you. So, you guys can hear my phone is blowing up. Who woke up eBay this weekend? I'm not even kidding y'all, and I know it's not just me because I've gotten a lot of messages from a lot of our friends that are also resellers. Somebody turned on the spigot because it has been off the hook, and I am not complaining. I am not complaining. They can keep coming. They can keep doing this. This is the best weekend we've had since like before fourth quarter, maybe. I'll have to go back and look. I'm really excited right now, so I'm probably exaggerating just a little bit. But this is like the best weekend we have had in a long time as far as volume and overall profit. eBay is off the hook. It's blowing up. I already have 4 sales today on Poshmark, which is pretty good. And like I said, I know a lot of people have been messaging me saying their sales were doing really good too. Hi, Rhodes and Birdie. Welcome in. Thank you for coming. Reseller King. Hi. Randy. Look at all those stars from Donatella. Hi, hon. How are you? All them stars. So tonight we're going to talk about making money. Maximizing your reselling profits, if you want to be exact about what I titled this shindig we're having. Some of the I can't even speak English. Some of the tax are getting their people back is what I almost said. Some of the people are actually already getting their tax refunds back. Yes. Most people get their W-2s more towards the end of January, but that could be it. I know that we saw an uptick around this time last year as well. And I know I've said this, but going into March, that's like the Q4 for used clothing resellers. That's when it really, really picks up for used clothing. And so usually you see the upswing start in February as you go into March. But we've been doing a lot of things behind the scenes too that I can't say are just coincidence. I think it's a combination of people getting their money, the economy's good, we're getting into the upswing of used clothing, and the things that we've been trying on the back end. Hi, Swamp Picker. I see Jamie's here. Jamie says he's grading records, so he won't be talking much. Well, I appreciate you watching, Jamie, and I'm sure everyone else appreciates that the troll is too busy to type tonight. So, okay, we're going to talk about maximizing your reselling profits. We're going to think outside of the box, though, because this isn't going to all be about selling things for the highest amount or buying them for the lowest cost. That is part of maximizing your profits. But when you want to maximize the amount of money that you make, I have notes. I have lots of notes that are so I'll get sidetracked even with notes. You guys know me. So I wrote some notes down because making the most amount of money that you could possibly be making isn't always only about how much you're paying for your cost of goods, what you're selling them for. Time is money, and there's ways to maximize your time so that you can make more money as well. So we'll just start going down the list. I'll keep my eye on the chat. I'm going to just really go down the list and just talk about all my points here. If at any time you guys have a question or want something clarified or comment, throw it in. I'm going to keep my eye on it and try to keep up on the chat as I talk. We'll see how that goes. Yay, Gary is making sales. All right. So the number one way to maximize your profits is probably spending less money on your goods. And how can you do that? I talk a lot about how you have to make do with what you have in your area. So some of us have 99-cent days at the Goodwills, and some of us have Goodwills that charge $40 for a pair of Walmart jeans. You really can't do anything about that. So you do have to make do with what you have around you. If you have good storage unit sales, auctions, if you have good thrift stores, look for those mom and pop thrift stores. So there's things that, you have to accept. What is that saying? You have to accept the things you cannot change, but be willing to do the research and maybe change a little bit. If your Goodwills are really too expensive, maybe do some research in your area and find other thrift stores. Maybe there's some mom and pops. You can always check all your thrift stores. Just give them a call. You can sit down one day and call them all and ask them when their sales are. See if they have 50% off days or 99-cent days. You can also spend less by buying wholesale. So you can do your research online and start buying wholesale items because you get stuff cheaper that way. On Poshmark, there's a lot of Poshmark sellers that do the reseller boxes. I would personally, if you asked my advice about buying mystery boxes or reseller boxes, my personal opinion would be never buy one on eBay. Heard way too many bad things about them on eBay, number one, and number two, it is against eBay's rules to sell them. So I wouldn't want to purchase something from someone that's selling against the rules. On Poshmark, they are 100% okay to sell, and I would buy them because I've never heard anything bad about them. All the reviews I see on Instagram and other YouTubers and the girls that I actually talk to on Instagram that do some of the boxes, they're really good people. They just have really good resources to get a lot of really good inventory, and they don't want to take the time to photograph and list it individually, so they make up boxes for other resellers, and they'll put in anywhere from 5 to 50 items. I've seen really big boxes. So if you want to start buying like reseller boxes, I would say it would probably be okay to do so on Posh. Most of those girls are really honest upfront. They have really good products, really good brands, and they have them at really reasonable prices. And shipping's not that bad either because Poshmark has a special deal with the United States Postal Service, even for over £5. So there's that you could try. You could look around wholesale. There's a lot of people that look up the liquidation lots, the pallets. You can find places that sell the returns and the shelf pulls. Hey Trina, thank you for hitting the thumbs up. And storage sales, yes, Janine, you can go online. It's, I had the link in another video. It's treasure. Donatella's in the chat. She uses it. She might be able to help me out here. It's treasurefinds.com maybe. And you put in your zip code and you tell them what area you're in, and you go to online storage auctions. And you can see pictures of what you're auctioning, what you're bidding on. Estate sales also are a viable option in some places. But if you find that you think you're paying too much, like if you're not turning enough of a profit to justify the price that you're paying for your goods, then it's time to look for other places to source, to think outside of the box, to think differently. And even if you're 100% okay with what you pay, like us, we pay like 99 cents for the majority of what we have, I'm still always looking for ways to be cheaper because I want to make more money. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maximizing your profits when you are running a business is absolutely good business. It's not greedy. It's not taking anything away from anybody else because you're the one that's putting in the hard work. If you're putting in all the hard work and the research and getting the items and listing them and selling them and driving to local sales, you're putting in all that work, you should make more money. And there's nothing wrong with that. We all want, my throat's really dry, give me a sec. We all want to run this business and work for ourselves. And so maximizing your profits is, I wouldn't even just say it's okay, it's essential, to keep yourself in business and to have money to recycle and put back in. Storage treasures. Yes, thank you very much. I always want to call it auction treasures for some reason. I will tell you guys a secret. I don't check those. Keith does. That's one of the things that he does every day is check storage treasures. And if he finds something that we're interested in, we both look at it. But I always just want to call it auction treasures. I don't know why. Auction zip is a good one too. Thank you. Reseller King. Junk lots, I don't know that I would really get into those personally, but I know people that do. So that just depends on you. We had a lot of success with a broken phone lot. A couple months ago, Keith was able to procure it was over a dozen just smashed and broken phones, but we only paid a couple $100 for them, and then they were selling for a lot more money than you'd think. And we didn't have as many issues with, here's the funny part. We sold those for parts or repair, broken. And we had less problems with them than we do with working cell phones. Cell phones are kind of sketchy to get into. Sketchy is probably not the right word. But a lot of people will try to lie and do item not subscribed on you and scam you on phones. That's why we didn't start getting into them until we were well established. But anyway, my point was we did buy a bunch of broken ones and we did really well with them. So if you're going to be buying junk or broken, just make sure it's something that will flip for good money if you're going to do parts or repair. Bill and Dave are in the house. I just talked to those guys. We just had a Facebook live talk a couple hours ago. For those of you that don't know, Dave and Bill live across the state from me. Met them in Vegas. Absolutely love the two of them. And they were out here in November visiting me. There's some old videos somewhere of all of us shopping together. See, I digress, even with the list. So yeah, whether you're happy with what you're paying for your goods or not, you should always be thinking of how you can get more for less. So the next way to maximize the amount of money you make is to spend less on your supplies as well. So when you think about spending less money, it's not just on your cost of goods, it's on your supplies. So is there any way that you can save money on the supplies and the things that you need for your business? If you have an eBay store, are you utilizing your quarterly coupon? Are you getting your free stuff from them? Are you buying in bulk? You guys, the Boxery, the link to the Boxery is down in my description box, is an amazing place to shop for your poly bags. They have packs of 1,000. You can get them in bulk. They're really reasonable prices, and they're really great people to deal with. They give really great customer service. They are actually sponsored by eBay and had a booth at eBay Open. They're just really nice people. We've been dealing with them since the beginning. They're called the Boxery. They're down below. You can get boxes, bags, whatever you need from them in bulk. And save money that way. Make sure you're getting your free stuff with your coupon. Do some research. Shop around. I know people who have Dollar Trees near them where they can get multi-packs of tape really cheap. And I know people who go to Sam's Club. And I know people who order from Amazon or go to Walmart. So just be willing to do the research. And I think that buying in bulk is always going to save you money. Getting a 4-pack of tape is more cost efficient than just buying one roll at a time. And then cut back a little bit on the things that you don't necessarily need. If you don't absolutely need to wrap each item in 12 pieces of tissue paper and 5 bows, maybe you could do 1 piece of tissue paper and 1 bow. But yeah, just think about all the supplies that you use, what's necessary, what you can cut out, what you can get rid of, what you can buy for cheaper. If you're using a regular printer and printing your labels on paper, at some point you're going to be selling enough that you need to think about upgrading to a Dymo or the, it's not the Rover, the one that starts with the R, the Rollo. We have a Dymo. So, when you're first starting out, obviously, and you're getting 2 or 3 sales every other day, you're not going to want to spend $100 on a Dymo. But when you start getting daily sales every day and you're getting 5 or more, it would be more cost efficient for you to get the Dymo because it's cheaper than ink and paper. And time. Time is money. So when you start selling enough to justify upgrading the printer, you're going to save a lot of time because you need to wait for each page to print out. Then you have to cut it in half. And you have to tape it on each package. So now you're using tape, you're using paper, you're using ink. It's taking you a lot of time. It is a Rollo. Thank you. I like my Dymo, but that's because we get the generic labels for it, and they're real inexpensive. But what was I saying? So when you first upgrade, you're going to be amazed at the amount of time you save. Tape, printer ink, and paper. And the thermal printers you never need to buy ink for. You only buy the rolls of paper. And most of them have a generic kind that you can use with it. Hold on, let me read this. Okay, I was thinking someone said get a discount at Goodwill. They do have church sales and charity sales you can go to. I think I actually had a video once where I was telling you guys you could even put out ads telling people you'll pick up their leftovers from estate sales and yard sales and stuff. I think self-made boxes take time, and I'm all about time being money. So if I can buy boxes, I'm going to buy them. We don't use a lot of boxes either, and I can imagine if we used more, I'd be more in the realm of I'm all about time. I have to be efficient, and we do a lot of volume, so we have to have a system that allows us to pack 10 packages a day or more quickly. Okay, so we talked about spending less money on your goods, spending less money on your supplies. And now we are going to talk about time. Time being money. So, how can you save time when you're outsourcing? You can plan your routes. Make sure you're planning your routes. If you don't have the yard sale app, it's called Yard Sale Treasure Map. Get that on your phone, at least when it gets closer to spring and summer, when we're going to start having a lot of yard sales. You can look at that the night before, see all the yard sales in your area and the church sales and the estate sales, and you can plan your route. If you're just going to thrift stores, think ahead of time and plan your route so that you're driving the most efficient way, saving gas and saving time, and make sure that you're keeping track of all of your mileage, because you can use that as a tax write-off, which we'll get into more in just a minute. You mean like if you run out of ink in the middle of printing? Most printers actually give a warning when they're starting to get low. And at that point is when you would want to go buy more ink, so it's on hand. So, okay, back to time is money. So you can save gas, and that's money and time, by planning your routes. And then to save more time, because I could say this 100 times tonight, and I haven't said it enough. Time is money. So how can you save more time when you're listing? You need to think about all these things where you're wasting time, because that could be money. So if you were listing more efficiently, you would be listing more. That would result in more sales and more money and less time. So when you're new, you're going to be slow, and that's okay. For those of you that are new, and if you're, say you're new and it's taking you an hour to measure 5 pairs of jeans, and you hear people like me and Megan Mawhinney saying we can get in an hour 20 pairs measured. That's because we've been doing it for a long time. So if you're like brand new and you find that you're slow at stuff, just keep doing it over and over and over again. Routine gets you faster at stuff. The more you do it, the faster you get. But you do want to get to where you're listing faster and being more efficient. So try to do all the same thing at the same time. When you go to do your photos, don't bring out 2 pairs of jeans, 3 men's shirts, 2 women's dresses, a plushie, and a pair of shoes. Like, bring out a box of shoes and do all shoes. Bring out a pile of jeans and do all jeans, etc., all plushie. But bring out all items that are alike and work on them. And you can even organize within that to get faster. Like, what I like to do with jeans is put them together by brand, and then like plus sizes and regular sizes, and then I can whip through them. And then when I have my photos, when I go to list them, I download all my photos onto my computer. I may have 4 or 5 in a row that are the same brand, and I can just keep selling similar and replacing certain things in the listing. So organizing things together by brand, all plus size, all same size, whatever, not only makes you faster and more efficient when you're doing the measuring and the photographing, but when you're doing the actual listing on the back end, you'll be faster as well. Oh yeah, there is a lot of people in here. I didn't even notice that. Woo! Welcome in, Skits Emporium. Do I roll old listing or replace it as new? You mean like if it doesn't sell in the 30 days? So yeah, those are just some ideas to save you some time and get you more efficient with listing. Work on all the same thing at the same time. Do them in chunks. Don't overwhelm yourself. And then look at throughout the day where you may be wasting time. Now, we all need downtime. We all need me time. I understand that. But we don't all need to sit on Facebook for 2 hours every day. So think about where you're spending your time and maybe schedule those breaks and put yourself on a timer. Say, if I photograph this box of shoes, I get 15 minutes to play on Facebook, but set a timer so you don't get lost for a couple hours and then get back to work. So let's talk about maximizing your write-offs. Now, this won't help you in the short term, making more money, and maximizing your profits. But once a year, it will definitely help you. Maximizing your write-offs is a really good way to save money. It's all above board. I'm not going to tell you to do anything illegal. 100%. Never, ever, ever, ever lie to the IRS. Never cheat on your taxes. But there's a lot you can do with your taxes that a lot of folks don't know. Keep all your receipts of everything you buy. That's a cost of good. Keep track of all your mileage. And here's where a lot of people lose a write-off that they could have. If you're out at the yard sales, the estate sales, the flea markets, places where you buy money. Places where you buy money. I wish there were places we could buy money. If you're out at places where you don't get a receipt for your purchases, is what I meant to say, carry a receipt book with you. You can get them at the Dollar Tree, at Walmart, and they're just like those old, you guys know what I'm talking about, receipt books. Carry those with you and write everything down, because there's a lot of people that just go to these places and spend $1 here and $1 there, and they never claim it because you don't have a receipt. You can claim anything you buy to resell. You can claim as a cost of good. So keep those little receipt books in your car. Ladies, keep one in your purse. I do. I keep track of all those places where you're spending money that they don't give you a receipt. Also, what I like to do, just real quick, those little flip top, they're notebooks like this big and the spirals at the top, and they flip and you get like 10 in a pack at Walmart for $1. We keep one of those and a receipt book in our glove box so that we can keep track of all our mileage and the little book. And then we have a receipt book in there for when we shop at places that don't have receipts. I do use GoDaddy Bookkeeping, and there is an app on the phone that you can enter your mileage into, but I am a dinosaur and I like doing things old-fashioned on paper and then converting it to our spreadsheets. But yes, if you travel more than, I think it's 100 miles, you guys want to check that online. I'm not a tax expert and I'm not a CPA, but I think they changed it to 100 miles this year. You have to be 100 miles or more from your home to claim lodging or food. But if you're somebody that travels more than 100 miles, you can claim your food, keep your receipts. If you go to eBay Open, that's considered a conference. You can write that off. If you give gifts to your post people, you can write that off. There's just a lot you can be doing. And you guys have probably heard this from a lot of other resellers, but it is recommended, like your first year that you go file your taxes, get some help. At least the first time. Because they will be able to show you things that you don't know as a new person, new to reselling and new to running your own business. So for at least the first year, hire some help, get a CPA, get an accountant to help you, and they can show you all the ways of the write-offs and all the things that you can do to get a break at tax time. Hi, Justin. Thanks for coming in. Waiting for my light kit. You could start without it. That's like the next topic I'm actually getting into is overthinking imperfection. But yeah, there are receipt scanners out there for those of you that aren't like me. I keep all my receipts and I enter them into GoDaddy myself, and then they go into a file folder that we have. But there are, I think QuickBooks even has, you can just scan in your receipt. Gary Smith, I would advise you to ask a tax accountant or a CPA that question. I know it depends on how much money you make. There's a lot of like ifs, ands, or buts to that question. The tax person will tell you what they need from you. Basically, they're going to need a lot, like all your receipts, your mileage. Just ask them what they need and they'll tell you what to bring. They're going to tell you everything that you need to bring. You're going to need to print like a 1040 off from PayPal. There's things you can print from Poshmark and eBay, and they're going to need all of that. And then there's something else that they need. I'm just totally not thinking. But yeah, there's a lot that they need. So, like if you kept your own receipts from yard sales, all that stuff. So, well, my receipts are neat. They're by month and they're clipped together, and then they have a paper on them that says what month they are. They get entered into the computer, but I still keep them and I enter them. I don't like to scan. I like to type myself. I have a scanner though. Yeah, procrastination is probably the biggest enemy of those of us that work for ourselves. And the thing with procrastination is, if you're like me and you have OCD and you are a perfectionist, what happens is you'll say if you can't do something perfect, you don't want to do it. So you put it off. And the procrastination keeps coming back around until whatever you were putting off is getting worse and worse and worse. And more likely that you can't do it perfectly. And that's why I've had to learn how to do things on timers. Because clearly if you get, say like you get really far behind on your taxes, you clearly can't sit down and do that in one day and still do everything else you need to do. You need to learn, well, I'll work on it for 10 or 15 minutes a day until I'm caught up. Or, if your death pile gets to where it looks overwhelming, don't think you're going to tackle it in one day. No one has to be perfect. That's the mindset you got to get out of. Just do what you can and work on timers and have a schedule and have a bullet journal and have a to-do list and write down all the tasks you need to do every day, but maybe you don't need to finish each one. Maybe each one just needs to be started or worked on a little bit. A lot of my results have faded because I live in Phoenix. They fade in Pittsburgh too. They fade up here too. So stop overthinking. Now here's something that I see a lot of people doing. And the reason I'm even mentioning this is because I personally feel like overthinking is a waste of time. And the time that people spend their energy overthinking something, they could have already moved on and done something else that could have made them money. Or even outside the realm of business, you could have moved on and done something that made you happy. So instead of sitting there and overthinking and getting stressed out about things that you cannot change, they just are. You could have been reading a book and enjoying yourself. You could have been at the park with your kids. You could have been listing 5 items. Overthinking doesn't need to happen because there's not really anything in the reselling business that needs overthink at all. Nothing. Check the brand, check the price. Is it worth it? Nope, put it back on the rack. You know what I mean? But I see people stressing all the time when they're comping. They're putting pictures in the group and they're stressing and they're just overthinking it. Like, either go buy a bolo guide or some kind of clothing guide and put it on your phone. Create your own. Like, sit down one day and think about everything that you want to buy and what you'd be willing to pay for it. Put it on your phone and just comp. You don't have to overthink each piece. What is it? How much does it cost? What do you think you can sell it for? If you don't know, put a guide on your phone. Check it out. You're done. You don't have to hem and haw. Like, Keith and I can literally get in and out of a Goodwill and get 100 items between the two of us in like 40 minutes. And that's time to check out and everything. And we take all of our own hangers off and hang them on the racks for the girls before we even get in line to ring out. That's how fast we are. I'm not saying everybody has to be that fast when you're new, but that kind of gives you something to work towards and gives you a concept of, you know, how fast you should be. You shouldn't be looking at each item and hemming and haw. You either want it or you don't. There are things that you're going to hem and haw over, and those are things that are worth it, but not everything is. So if you find a new to you DVD VCR combo and it doesn't have the remote and you're not sure if the $10 they're charging for it is enough to cover, that you could look up. But as far as like every shirt and everything, just sit down and learn. Get a guide, put it on your phone, or spend the time learning before you go so you can kind of get a gist of what you should be getting. And again, I need to keep reiterating this. This is by no means to judge new people. New people have an excuse. New people can take extra time. They're learning. But I'm saying I see seasoned sellers that have no business taking 20 minutes to post a picture of something in a Facebook group and wait for responses when they know damn well that thing wasn't worth it. Put it back on the rack. Or they knew, get it, put it in your cart. But new people, you guys, you're learning. That's fine. You guys should have seen me when I first started measuring jeans. It used to take me like an hour to do 4 pairs. And it was just ridiculous. But there's just, even new people, you guys can, do the research on the back end. So when you go in the store what, you should not pay $20 for Miss Me jeans, right? So don't overthink while you're outsourcing. Don't overthink when you're comping either. And I see a lot of people doing this. I needed a drink, sorry. You don't have to find the exact item that you have in order to comp it. I knew somebody who spent 45 minutes looking for the exact style, color with the print and everything of a shirt before they gave up and contacted me and said, oh my God, I can't comp this. And I just spent 45 minutes looking for this shirt. And I said, were you looking for that specific shirt exactly? Oh yeah, I want to find this exact shirt in this size to comp it. And I said, you don't really got to do that. Just like look for that brand, that gender, whatever it was, and button downs. and get a general gist of what they're selling for. But they spent 45 minutes trying to find that one particular shirt, and they really didn't need to. And that 45 minutes, maybe they could have posted like 4 or 5 more things. So don't overthink it when you're comping either, especially if it's used clothing. You can really just look up a general idea of that brand, that style, and then you can go into the solds and look at the prices that they sold for. And if you see some that sold for more, then maybe that's because they're a larger size or the print was a little bit better. So then think, does mine have a larger size or cooler print? Can I sell mine at the higher price? But it doesn't need to take like 45. You don't have to find the exact thing. So I feel like people are taking entirely too much time on comping when you could be listing more. Counter offers and offers in general. People overthink these way too much. You know what? Don't even think about them. Respond with 10% off. Thank you for your interest in this item. And that's it. Move on with your day. That's it. That's all you got to do. That is really all you have to do. You do not have to be upset that it was a low ball. You do not have to wonder what is wrong with them or how come they don't know that it cost me more than that to ship it. How come these people think they can get everything? No, you don't need to think any of that. You don't need to go on the Facebook groups and complain about it because we all get them all day long. When you get an offer, if you're not willing to take it, if it's not where you're at, counter with 10% off. Thank you for your interest in this item. Boom. That is all you need to do. That is all the effort you need to put into it and all the thought you need to put into it. I wouldn't decline them. Absolutely not. I don't care if they offer me $1. Because when I offer back the 10% off, my item gets a boost in searches. And then, especially if they're a lowballer who sent you an item, a $1 offer, you counter, your item gets a boost, but they probably are going to walk away and ignore it. They're not going to decline you. And then it sits as an open offer, and people who are watching the item are looking at it or see that there's an offer on it, and they might snatch it up because they don't want to lose out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Jasper has a point. You do learn yourself. It is funny because the longer you're in this game, the more you will see certain resellers can sell certain brands and items like hotcakes. They just fly out the door for really great prices, and these are items that you can't even give away. And you're like, what? But then you'll have items that you can sell really well for really great prices that other people say they can't give away. And I don't know why, because we're all selling to the same audience all around the world on eBay, but for some reason some people can move things that others can't. I do not like over describing. Here's the thing, that's a turn off for buyers. When you have a wall of text in your description box and you wrote a novel, number one, they aren't going to read it. They're not going to read it. You guys, they are not going to read it. You know how I know they're not going to read it? Because every day I get minimum 5 messages asking me for measurements on an item that the measurements were in the description. They don't read. So why spend your time? You can have a very short description. You don't need a lot of information in there. I do know that I have been told that buyers get turned off by too much information, just because it's like, they don't need to know, like, they just don't like a lot of information. As far as your return policy and all of that. You don't need a lot in there. And then you can set up a template. When you get it down to just a little bit of text that you're going to need in your description, just make a template and you never have to type it again. I do have a video showing you how to set those up if you need help with that. It's like a 5-minute video screen share. Shows you how to set up your templates. But you don't need to spend so much time like typing a novel with every item. They are not going to read it. They need to know what it is, what size it is, measurements if you got them. Did it come from a smoke and pet free home? And do you take returns? And that's pretty much all they need. Yeah, that's a good point too. Anything that you're trying to learn, whether you're trying to learn what you should be sourcing, how you should be comping, anything, keep it in front of you all the time. Like, we soak up stuff when we're not paying attention sometimes, if that makes sense. So just having stuff around you all the time that, like, you know, you're looking at will help you to retain it. My throat is so dry, you guys. I'm so sorry. So Bill and Dave said they had a decline today, and then they got the full price of $54 from a different buyer. Yes, because every time you counter, you get a boost in the search engine. You do not have to have the seller at the yard sale sign your receipt, and I wouldn't even ask them to, because they'd probably get a little irritable. No, you just keep them. I mean, it's kind of like you're on your own word. If you got audited and you showed them those, they'd have to take you on your own word. So that just goes back to just be honest and don't ever lie to the government. That's not a good idea. Templates are amazing. I have been using them since the inception of me listing, and they are just amazeballs. I have them set up for jeans, men's, jeans, women's, plushies. Like, I literally go in, upload the pictures, because I put them on my computer so I can upload like 10 at one time. Boom. I don't have to sit there on my phone and do one at a time. It's like, boom, all 12 are in. Take the one I want on the front, crop it down so it looks cute, so it's up front. And then I make a title. And I hardly fill in any information except for like size and color, because everything else can be filled out. Templates are a lifesaver. That is a good way to save time. Back to the overthinking. So we've covered comping, sourcing, and the counter offers. Don't overthink these things, because you're just, that when you're hemming and hawing over a shirt in the thrift, you're missing out on 5 somebody else just picked up. When you're hemming and hawing over the comps, you could have listed more things. When you're hemming and hawing over the counter offers, you're wasting your energy and your time on something that doesn't really matter. Even if they offered me 50 cents and I know they're not going to buy it, I don't need to worry about it. Thank you for the free boost in the searches. Have a nice day. And returns and refunds. Oh my God, people stress about this. And they write novels about it in these Facebook groups, and they're always scared they're being scammed, and they're always worried. Here's the thing. If you offer returns and someone contacts you and wants a partial, no. Just tell them no. Please return for a full refund per eBay policy and our company policy. They will go away most of the time. People that are searching for partials, they want a partial and they want to keep the item. So if you just very clearly make it clear that it's policy, it is eBay policy, it's in there, it's in the fine writing, they do not get any money back until you get your item back. Most of them go away. And then if they return it, then you refund them. I mean, it's part of business. There's not one business out there that doesn't deal with returns. Whether you're a big box store, a brick and mortar, or you're online selling stuff out of your own closet, there's going to be people that want to return stuff, and you just have to deal with it. And spending 30 minutes on every return and getting upset and spending all that time getting other people's opinion, I don't see the point in it. Like, legitimately, anytime anybody sends us any kind of message that they're unhappy with their item, whether I think they're phishing or not, I just say, we're sorry to hear that. Please open a return. When we get the item back, you'll get your refund per policy. Most of them go away. Some of them will return it, and you refund them, and that's part of business. People are going to open item not as described when they shouldn't. So just call eBay and, deal with it that way and see what they can do to help you, which is nothing. Because I've been there. But they sometimes will if they can clearly see that they open an item not as described for fit, they will not change the item as described. Not as described, you'll still get the ding. But sometimes they'll refund you your shipping. So, but you don't need to spend so much time on it. Returns are going to be a part of your business 100% if you sell used clothes. If you are a reseller that sells used clothes, 100% you're going to get returns unless you only sell on Poshmark. That's just the bottom line. Clothes have a high return rate, and it happens, and you have to deal with it without wasting a lot of time on it. Or you could go sell on Poshmark where they don't allow returns, and people get really crafty about trying to claim item not subscribed because they know they can't return it for fit. So, hey, Noelle's here. Hi, Noelle. Thank you for coming. I see you. Free returns will get you the top rated seller status and allegedly a boost in searches. We have them on stuff that's first class, but nothing that weighs over a pound, nothing that's electronic, nothing like that. I don't like them, but I do them because it's best practices. Like, it's that whole, if you're going to play an eBay sandbox, you got to play by their rules. And if they want us to have that on in order for us to get the additional 10% off our final value fees or whatever it is, whatever. But I don't put it on everything because I don't think people need to rent electronics. Yep, just move on and resell it. Hey, Chris is here. What's up? Remember them frogs? I'm like way off topic. But remember them Budweiser frogs? What's up? Hey, Daryl, new seller. Welcome in. Thank you for joining us. Noelle, Hannah says hi. Okay, so we've covered a way to save time. Time is money. We've covered overthinking, which is a waste of time. Maximizing your write-offs for tax time, which is a big boost in money. Saving money when you're buying your goods and saving money on your supplies. Now, how can you make more money online? Well, number one, you need to comp your stuff right. I'm not going to get into this too much tonight because I know that I have been putting out a lot of videos lately and ruffling a lot of feathers. If you want to go the fast nickel route or you want to go the race to the bottom route and you want to sell stuff for less than what it's worth or less than what you're worth, your time and your business, that's your business. I don't agree with it. I can understand the fast nickel. I can. But that leads to that race to the bottom. If everybody that wanted a fast nickel could literally just stick to $2 above the going rate, let's give an example. Silver jeans typically start around 40 or 50 bucks. So if somebody, depending on the style, so say I had a style that started at 40 and you're a fast nickel person. If you want to come in and list yours at 38, 36, okay, fine. Then you sell yours first and that's great. But then what happens is the next person comes in behind you and they want to sell theirs at 34 because they want to sell it before you. And the next person comes in and they list it at 32, 30, so on and so forth. And before you know it, another brand is tanked and worth less than half of what it used to be. I said I wasn't going to talk about this much because this is the one area where I could get on a soapbox and make 100 videos and probably piss a bunch of people off and ruffle a bunch of feathers and get people mad at me. But I just can't handle the fact that just even in the last year, Robert Graham's, the ones that are more plain, the striped ones, not the really loud, pretty ones, have gone from like $50 to $20. That's just ridiculous. And it's because of that. But okay, so we have already had a ton of videos about that. I talk about it all the time. I'm not here to talk about that tonight. I just wanted to mention if you want to make more money, you've got to comp right. You got to go back and look at the solds. You can't just look at what's listed because anybody can come in and list anything for anything. I could decide that I want to put my Beanie Baby up for $1 million and Noelle could come in behind me and put hers in for 10 cents. And neither one is sold. They're in the listings. You're going to see hers for 10 cents and mine for $1 million and you don't know what to do. Go look in the solds and see where Dave and Bill sold theirs, for $6. And that's what it's worth. You know what I'm saying? You got to look at the solds. I keep saying, know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying? Sorry about that. So look at the comps, look at the solds, see what it's actually selling for. If you see that something is all over the place, that's probably a brand that is attempting to be ran down to the bottom. I just go with the higher ones. So I price high, best offer and hope, and sit and wait. But not pricing your stuff at rock bottom, clearly you're going to make more money, right? Cross-posting. Noelle got her rubber gram up. She's got a really beautiful one, new with tags. It's ridiculous. ridiculous in a good way. No, Robert Graham's are notoriously like loud and obnoxious prints and kind of fugly, but they sell for a lot of money, especially if they're new. And the bigger, the louder the print, the more money they sell for. Okay, so obviously comp your stuff correctly. Cross post. I can't say that enough either. You can't put all your eggs in one basket. And I will tell you now that on days eBay is slow, the other platforms absolutely pick up the slack. We'll get a local sale, we'll get an Amazon sale, we'll get a Poshmark sale, we'll get some affiliate links coming in, and it helps. So like the more fingers you have and the more pies and the more streams of income, the better off you are. You'll just make more money. You just have to be very careful to stay on top of it and make sure that you pull stuff off of eBay when it sells on Posh, vice versa. You just pretty much got to be on your phone all day every time you make a sale. I don't know why I'm getting a kissy face from Lance, but thank you. Thank you, Gary. That was very nice. Thank you. That's my nerd face. Yeah, eBay has been off the hook, Lance. I was saying that before you came in. It has. You missed the freaking machine gun when my phone was going off with sales. It was awesome. Okay, so back on track. We got about 9 minutes until 10 o'clock when I will let you guys go back to being productive and or relaxing for the rest of your evening. Cross post. Put your fingers in more pies. Get some more streams of income coming in. Learn something new. Don't be sorry that you're late. You showed up. That's cool. I had to snipe a troll myself in the beginning, you guys. Amazon sales are, it's a whole different place. I personally, hold on. I wouldn't recommend it for somebody who's just new and starting out. There's a lot to learn on Amazon, and you can make one mistake when you're new and get your whole account suspended. And there's a lot of things on there that the buyers do that aren't necessarily honest. They can get you called out for fake stuff when it's not fake. There's all kinds of stuff that can happen. I personally would recommend learning eBay first and local sales and stuff like that. And then when you have capital that you've built up and you've got enough money to start getting more profitable items, starting to sell on Amazon with small things. I would not do anything new electronics on there when you're first new, because those are the ones that'll get you hit when you're new and get your account suspended forever. I don't want to make it sound too scary, because it's not if you know what you're doing, but you really got to know what you're doing. Fingers and pies. And yeah, Justin will tell you why he can't sell. Not Justin, Lance. Lance. Did I see Justin in here, or am I crazy? I swear I saw him peek in. Yeah, right there. Fingers and pies. So Justin is here too. But yeah, Lance can't sell there anymore, and that's why. I don't want to scare you off of it. You can make good money there and you can do really well there, but just so many things are gated and things are so different, and you can literally accidentally, not even like being a sneak face or trying to cheat the system. You could literally be brand new and not know what you're doing and make a very simple mistake and get suspended for life. Yeah, watch a lot of videos on Amazon. I don't do Amazon videos because I won't touch Amazon. Keith does our Amazon. Everything we learn from Jamie Pace, though. But I might eventually, once Keith quits his job and he's working from home full time, I may sit down with him and start learning Amazon and doing videos on it. But as of right now, I don't do videos on Amazon because I don't feel like I do it enough or know enough. I will not proceed to teach people how to do something that I don't do. That's just, I have to be hands-on doing it currently and know what I'm doing before I'm going to be telling other people how to do it. So I mean, eventually that could be something I could sit down with Keith and learn, but that's, down the road. I, again, got off topic. I can't even speak English. I do speak English. So another way to get more money is to take advantage, if you have an eBay store, take advantage of the things that come with your store subscription that you're paying for. Run sales on the weekend, offer a discount if they buy more, send out your offers to your watchers. That is a thing on eBay. I have a video on it. You can send offers to people watching your items just like you do on Poshmark. Run your sales, run the 25% off, $30 or more, whatever. Encourage them to buy more, because the more you sell, the more active your store is, the more you get pushed up in the search engine. It's all a wonderful experience that just feeds on each other. And then if you're on Poshmark, of course, send out your offers to your likers, share your closet every day. You can offer discounts for bundles there, so encourage them to buy more and give them a discount for it. You can't really run sales there, but the offers to likers are everything on Posh. I do recommend pricing your stuff higher over there to give yourself room. People pay more over there than on eBay anyway. But, for example, if I list a pair of silver jeans for $40 on eBay free ship, it's going on Poshmark for $44. And they're paying $6 additional shipping on that. I most likely won't get the $44. I'll end up offering probably 20% off and I'll get $36. But they've paid shipping. I would have to give a $1.50 discount. But it still comes out the same or more than eBay. So if you're listing on Poshmark, all the advice is, can you not be messaging me while I'm on the live show, Lance? Just kidding. Just list a little bit higher on Poshmark. Give yourself room, but the buyers over there really look for those offers. That's how you make your sales over there. And of course, offering deals on bundles. You can make signs for it. I might make a video on how to do that, because I just showed you guys Canva and PicMonkey, right? So we may have a video on how to make signs for your Poshmark coming up. But yeah, run your sales, do your offers, encourage people to buy more, put your stuff on different platforms, and price it what it's worth. Don't undersell. And don't feel like you have to take low balls either. I just got through telling you, just count with 10% off, but don't feel stressed. Like, if 10 people send you a $20 offer on a $50 item, that does not mean that your $50 item is worth $20. It just means that 10 people who saw your item are cheap and thought that they would try to get it for $20. It's still worth $50. If you comped it solidly at $50 and you are 100% confident that you comped it well and you comped it correctly and it is worth $50, just because 10 people within the first week offer you $20 doesn't mean you got to take the 20. It just means you unfortunately ran into 10 cheap people. I'm reading G. Jasso's comment real quick. You got suspended from AdSense. Woo! I don't know what I would do. YouTube is life. Is that what the kids say now? YouTube is life. Or is that too extra? 280 listings on eBay for Noelle. That's awesome. It's not that we don't do Amazon. It's that Keith does it. But I guess everything that both of us do is a we. It's just that he focuses on some things and I focus on others. RVA Flip says a Justin. Everybody's named Justin. Well, don't multitask when I'm online. I'm answering Lance's comments. Okay. Yeah, I might. So, what if I do the video on how to do your signs on Poshmark? It's probably going to be part of the Back to Basics series I'm doing for beginners. There's going to be 2 videos for that coming out this week on how to prep items for oh my gosh. I'm on live. Can you stop messaging? You're distracting me. I'm going to be coming out with prepping your items for photography. That will have a lot of different information in it, such as measurements, how to get stickers off of stuff, marker off of stuff, steaming, lint rolling, all kinds of stuff. Like, I'm going to like have examples of a bunch of different types of items people would list and how to prep them for photos. And then I will have one coming out on how to take really great photographs for your listings. So I'll be doing those 2 next week. I don't know where the sign would come in for Posh in that series, so I may not even do it in that series. It may be like something I do for fun on Friday. Fridays I like to do really fun videos with fun stuff for you guys. So if you want consistent sales in clothing, there's not really a magical number of listings to have. You just need to list every day. Now, as far as when can you expect to see daily sales, probably 100 to 200 listings if you're active all the time and if you have good stuff. But I remember we didn't see like daily sales until like 100 listings, and we were still listing like 10 or 20 a day a piece. So I don't know that there's a magic number, but I know that like over 100 you're more likely to get a sale a day. But you just got to keep active. You got to list every single day. I had a website and the hater went, oh man, that's awful. That's nuts. All right, guys, it is 10 o'clock, which means I have kept you guys here for an hour, which is a lot of time when time is money. So I appreciate you guys all coming in. Thank you for spending an hour with me. I hope that what I talked about, you guys learned something. If you think of any questions later, feel free to leave them down in the comments. I will answer you guys. Don't forget to join our Facebook group. You can always get a quicker answer in there, not just from me. We have a really great group of people in there. And Keith is really active in there and will answer questions as well. So don't forget to join our Facebook group. That is down in the description box as well, the link to that. If you're interested in our clothing guide, the link is down there too. Smash that like button before you leave if you guys would. If you haven't already and you would like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed a hungry hippo. Don't forget to press the bell so you get the notification when I put out new content. I think that's everything. You guys, thank you again. I appreciate it. And go be productive. Tomorrow's Monday. Let's get up. Let's do stuff. Let's have a really awesome reselling week and make some money. I love you guys. Thank you.